Exclusive Sports Marketing, and Sunshine Network present the 1989 Coca-Cola National Championship Sprint Triathlon, hosted at the Waterways of Aventura, and presented by the Waterplace Shops, sponsored by the Aventura Times, Love 94, Advanced Sports Nutrition, and Triathlete Magazine. Meanwhile, it is Lance Armstrong, the 18-year-old, who has taken the lead at the 3-mile mark on the bicycle ride.
The men are still packed up, John. Lance Armstrong's in the lead, followed closely by Harold Robinson. What needs to happen here is Lance needs to break away from this pack.
It was just this past spring that Armstrong graduated from high school in Plano, Texas, a place that's probably better known for producing high school football players, but Armstrong has made a name for himself, and this summer he worked out with the National Junior Cycling Team, and that is probably one of the reasons that he leads a pack right now that includes Mike Pigg and Clark Campbell in the men's cycling professional group.
Lance Armstrong now is breaking away from Mike Pigg, going up the William Lehman Causeway. He's out of his saddle. He needs to get a bigger lead here, John.
And this could be the toughest part of the race, the breaking point for the men on the bicycle ride, as you take that hill and head into the home stretch and you go down Country Club Drive.
And the men are coming into the transition. Mike Plant is with Lance Armstrong as he leads.
This is Lance Armstrong off the bike first. Lance Armstrong, the 18-year-old from Plano, Texas. And Mike Pigg is right behind him, straight ahead of you. Lance Armstrong is obviously going to win that $300 run frame.
We're back for the third leg of the Sprint Triathlon at the Waterways, and Lance Armstrong, the leader at the 1-mile mark with a 20-second margin.
It's surprising he still has 20 seconds, John. I thought that Pigg or Robinson would have made up some time on him. He's running real well right now.
And, of course, they have just completed a 13.4-mile bicycle ride, so the running styles are not the most fluid that you might see. This is Lance Armstrong now on the boardwalk with a half-mile to go, and we talked about that this is a loop course, as he is wrapping around where the race started on the swim course.
He's psyched up right now, John. He knows he's got the win. He does not see anyone in sight. He has kept that 20-second lead over Mike Pigg. Back to Lance Armstrong. Lance has got about a fourth of a mile left. He's going to take a couple turns here and come into a finish line where he'll see about 7,000 spectators, and he's got to be excited, John.
Keep in mind, he is just 18 years old, and he has already been on the circuit for 2 years. When he was just 16 years old, he finished in 4th place at the 1987 National Championship Sprint Triathlon, which was then held at Boca Point. He was the first off the bicycle then, but he was run down by 3 men. That does not look like the case this year.
That year, Scott Tinley mentioned that boys will be boys. He finished very strong on the bike and then got ran down. Lance has got to feel good today. He's not going to be run down by 2 of the top people in the profession, Mike Pigg and Harold Robinson.
And I don't think anybody will be calling him boy anymore, specifically Pigg and Robinson, who have won this race the last 2 years. 18-year-old Lance Armstrong as he heads into the last 120 yards of this Sprint Triathlon. Remember, he did most of the damage on the bicycle ride, which is where he really worked on it during the summer. And that's what put him into the position he is in now. He's got about 50 yards to go, and the crowd is rooting him on as he heads in for the 1989 championship.
Lance Armstrong, the 1989 champion of the Coca-Cola National Championship Sprint Triathlon, and he's excited, John.
And the story at the beginning was maybe another 18-year-old, Miles Stewart, but no, it is the American Lance Armstrong from Plano, Texas, at 18 years old, taking the 1989 Sprint Triathlon in 52 minutes and 39 seconds.
Lance Armstrong, you are the junior national time trial champion in cycling. Now you're the national sprint triathlon champion. Got to make you feel pretty good.
Oh, man, Mike, I feel great. I always had a feeling I had this in me, and today I just had a great day, and boy, I was on. I was really psyched for it. I wanted it.
Now, you've had kind of a tough year in the triathlon business, a great year in cycling. This kind of really ends it in a nice way for you, doesn't it?
Well, I got a race tomorrow, so that'll really cap it off.
Unbelievable. Race in Antigua, I understand?
That's right. I want that better. I want that just as much.
Now, tell me, when did you take this race away? It looks like you won it on the bike ride.
Well, I thought the key would be for me to have a good swim and get away from the guys so that nobody could get on my wheel on the bike. And I just, the first, 4 or 5 miles on the bike, I just concentrated on just getting away. And when I was away, I just put my head down and boy, I just show no mercy, man. I was gut checking out there.
Were you surprised that Mike and Harold weren't able to stay with you on the bike? Was that kind of a pleasant surprise?
Well, I came out of the water with Harold. I didn't see Mike. I really wanted, Harold's the guy I wanted to get by because 2 years ago at this race, we rode the whole ride together and he outran me. So I just wanted to get away from him, and I didn't even see Mike. I heard he was back there, and then that's when I really had to start the gut check, is get away from that guy. He's a motor on the bike.
How's it feel?
This is the greatest race I've ever, this is the greatest.
Lance Armstrong, 18 years old, from Plano, Texas, graduated from high school last year, and he has graduated to the National Sprint Triathlon Championships today.
And on the men's side, it was Lance Armstrong defeating a star-studded field that included the last year's national champion, Mike Pigg, and the '87 champion, Harold Robinson.
There will be other races for them, but today belongs to Lance Armstrong, who becomes the 1989 Coca-Cola National Sprint Triathlon champion.
52:39. Lance, He's not old enough to drink it, but he's old enough to shake it. What the heck? Nice going, guys. Let's have a big round of applause.